Welcome to Trader Talk, where we dish out the latest Wall Street buzz to keep your portfolio sizzling. I'm Kenny Polcari, and I'm coming to you live from the Yahoo Finance headquarters here in the heart of New York City, a global hub where deals are made, fortunes are built, and the next market move is always just around the corner. Coming up, I'm going to share my thoughts on the midterm elections. I'm going to chat with my very good friend Rich Ducat, and I'm going to share my orecchietti con ragu bianco. It's delicious. You're going to thank me later. Now, let's jump into my big take. As we approach another 2026 United States midterm election, the buzz is loud. Congress is already in flux. Policy uncertainty rising. Portfolios are twitching. But here's what most investors miss. When it comes to the stock market, midterms are usually background music. They're not the main act. Historically, the period leading into the midterms tends to disappoint. In the 12 months before the election, the S&P 500 has averaged just about a 0.3% return, well below the long-term average. Investors get jittery because they don't know which party is going to control Congress and what policies might pass. Uncertainty spikes, and markets don't like that. Meanwhile, the year after the midterm often paints a much different story. Over the decades of data, the S&P has averaged double-digit gains once the political verdict is in. Here's the catch. It's not the winners or the losers of the vote that moves markets. It's the removal of uncertainty. The tickers don't jump because Party A gains Senate seats. They move when investors can stop asking, what if, and start asking, what now? Once that question gets answered, direction becomes clearer and capital starts flowing. For investors, this cycle means just one thing. Don't trade based on which way a red wave or a blue wave might go. Trade based on how your holdings perform once the dust settles. Keep your eyes on policy levers that affect your sectors, not the switchboard in Washington, D.C. Pick companies with strong fundamentals that thrive in any political scenario. Use the upcoming noise as a reminder to rebalance, not panic.
As you said, Kenny, oil. I think that's the easiest example to think of. We have a huge strategic petroleum reserve. Obviously, We need oil. So I can definitely see the thinking behind some of this. I won't comment on the rightness or wrongness of political maneuverings here, but I think there's an obvious case to be made for national security aspects with, they're called rare earth metals for a reason. They're not exactly super easy to get, but we in this country have significant reserves of things like lithium that we haven't really managed to take advantage of just yet. So I can certainly see the thinking behind, moving to solidify the government's role in these very critical industries. What's going to happen to us if we can't make semiconductors? I have a pretty hard time seeing a future where we don't need more computer chips, Kenny.
Hold that thought 1 minute. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
I think the whole blockchain thing was much more reminiscent of the .com. You saw, Long Island iced tea changing to long blockchain. That was the most ridiculous thing to me. That was much more reminiscent of the .com era than what's happening right now, is what I would say.
Right. But I think that I think this whole AI, and I think the next group that's going to light up is quantum computing, right? And you already see it. IBM came out and reported their earnings 2 days ago, right? IBM's got people don't necessarily know it because it doesn't stick out, but IBM's got a real presence in quantum computing. So take IBM and then look at something like IonQ.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I've got a pair of the Meta sunglasses made by Ray-Ban, and so when you look at the arms, they're a little bit cloudy, but they're clear enough that you can see, if you hold it up to like the sunlight, you can see all the chips that are located in the arm that allows me to talk to it. The microphone that if I put on music, I can hear it in my ears. If I talk to it and give it a command and say, give me directions to XYZ. It hears me talking, and it goes and he searches for what I ask, and then it tells it to me back in my ear. But it's amazing to see just in the arm, on the one side of my head, all the little chips that are in there. It's really crazy. It's really amazing to think. And anyway, listen, we could talk about this for hours, and I appreciate you taking the time to come on, and I'd love to have you back. But it is time for me to serve up dinner.